Shiva is part of the holy trinity of Hinduism. The trimurti consists of Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. It is said that Shiva existed when there was nothing and will continue to exist when nothing remains. Shiva is portrayed as the oldest god with extreme personalities and is the most worshipped god of the Hindus. The story goes that Brahma and Vishnu entered an argument as to who was more powerful among them. Suddenly, a blazing pillar emerged from the ground and moved upwards, seemingly touching the sky. Continuing with their ongoing tussle, both decided to locate the ends of the mighty pillar of light. Brahma went upwards, taking the form of a swan, and Vishnu went downwards, digging the earth in the form of a boar. Their efforts went in vain, as neither of them could reach the end of the strange pillar. Both returned after a long time, admitting that they were unable to find the limits of the pillar. Brahma and Vishnu both felt humbled, and at that time Shiva appeared from within the shining pillar. The eternity of the pillar of fire symbolizes the never-ending eternity of Shiva. Seeing the manifestation of Shiva, both Brahma and Vishnu were quick to understand that Shiva had greater powers than either of them. Shiva is usually seen in a yogic posture as a great ascetic in deep meditation on a symbolic Mount Kailash as the Lord of Yoga. Shiva wears the king of serpents as his garland, which signifies his power over dangerous creatures. It also depicts Shiva's destructive power, like the snake shreds its old skin to reveal its new skin. Shiva destroys the universe to facilitate new creation. The 3 lines of vibhuti on his forehead symbolizes his immortality. His body is smeared with ashes, and he has a blue neck. During the Samudra Manthan, the churning of the cosmic ocean performed to obtain Amrit, the elixir of eternal life, Shiva drank the halahal, the poison that churned up, which was capable of destroying all of creation. His wife, goddess Parvati, came to his rescue. She squeezed his neck and stopped the poison in his neck, preventing it from reaching his stomach and spreading all over his body. The poison was so powerful that it turned the color of his neck to blue. Hence, Shiva is called Neelkantha. Shiva has the moon, the sun, and the fire as his 3 eyes. His 3rd eye burns desire to ashes. The story goes that Kama, god of love and lust, hid behind a tree and shot an arrow at Shiva's heart. Agitated by this action, Shiva opened his 3rd eye and with its fire burnt Kama to ashes. His 3rd eye also symbolizes inward vision, wisdom, and the power to see things as they are in their true form. Shiva holds the Trishul or trident in one hand, which represents his 3 functions as the creator, preserver, and destroyer. The trident also represents the balance between the 3 gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas. It signifies past, present, and future, manifesting Shiva's transcendence of time. Shiva also wears a garland made of 108 rosary beads, or rudraksha, around his neck and hands. The rudraksha beads represents all the elements used in the creation of the universe. Shiva has coiled hair of matted locks with the crescent moon. The river Ganga flows from her abode, the matted hair of Shiva. Normally seen tied to Shiva's trident is the damaru, a small two-headed drum in the shape of an hourglass. This divine instrument is used by Shiva during the eternal dance of existence, called the Tandav. It is also called the cosmic dance of death, as it is performed at the end of the regeneration cycle of creation and destruction. This dancing representation is known as Nataraja. The sound of the damaru represents the mystical sound of Om. The two sides of the damaru represent creation and destruction, birth and death. The Tandav symbolizes the rhythm and balance which sustains the universe and the never-ending cycle of time. Shiva also has a dark side as the lord of ghosts and evil spirits. Lord Shiva fascinates millions all over the world with his unique appearance and numerous virtues. Shiva is portrayed as a complex personality with multiple layers and performing many different roles. Shiva has qualities of stillness and goodness on one hand, and the ferocious movement of the destroyer, the fierce Rudra, on the other. He is also called Bholenath, as he is the embodiment of innocence, who has passion for others and dispassion for himself. Shiva the ascetic is a representation of self-discipline and meditation. He is called Adi Yogi, as he is the first yogi and the first guru. For the great Lord of the universe, Shiva, birth and death have no relevance, as he is above Kaal, meaning time or death, and is called MahaKaal, one who has control over time and is present everywhere, along with his consort, goddess Parvati or Shakti, which symbolizes the unity of opposites in the universe. Lord Shiva is worshipped by Hindus in temples in the form of a shivling. The oval-shaped lingam is a symbolic representation of all the energies of the universe.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.